Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Econobox garage as we continue with our Bugeye build. The goal for this week is to finish the body filler and sanding so we can get some primer on the car before it gets too cold. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy this week's video. Well, here we are at the start of a new week of work on the Bugeye. I'm pretty happy with how things have turned out so far. So I've just got this corner to do down here on the quarter panel, and then I have to finish off a little bit on this end of the license plate recess. I'm going to mask off inside the passenger compartment after I cleaned it up, and then I'll mask off the engine compartment. I'm going to paint body color kind of up to this line here, and then up across to about the top of this, and then that will be body color as well. I've already started sanding some of this, as you can see. I don't know if the video picks that up or not, but the cross hatching with the 80 grit sandpaper. The green stuff is a self-etch primer that I had put on over the last couple of years as I've been tinkering away on the car. So this is where I am now with the car, and the whole car was mostly like this side of the bonnet here, with just some light surface rust and what have you. The previous owner had stripped all the paint off the car. I'm not going to do anything on the bonnet or the doors until the spring. Have some welding to do down here, but other than that, it's in pretty good shape. Anyway, let's get last little bit of sanding done on the body and get it prepped for some primer. Well, there we have a couple of coats of Duplicolor's high build primer on. I just used their rattle cans, and I'm glad to have got that on before the temperatures started to drop. I actually did have to scrape my windows this morning, so it was, I think, about -2 Celsius or a bit cooler. So this is how the main tub is going to stay until spring now. I will have to do a couple of spots with some additional filler. But all in all, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. And got all the way to the front on the sills, across the top of the scuttle panel there, and all the way down to the back. So I'll just show you the product I used for this. And it's just the Duplicolor filler, or primer filler, or filler primer, whichever way you want to look at it. I've used, I think, 4 cans of this to get this far. So I'll probably just need another 2 or 3 to get the rest of it done in the spring. And one thing you may have noticed or may not have is I didn't reinstall any beading below the tail lights on either side. However, when I purchased the repair panel for the rear valence and for the quarter panel on the right hand side there, I did pick up a section of beading for those spots. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to cut this leg off, or this part off, so I'm left with just the actual beading part, and I'm going to glue it in place on top here. Yeah, I think it would just finish that off nicely on the back there with doing that. And I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but there's a spot there that I've got to do some touch up with filler. There's a couple of spots on this quarter panel as well, and I think there might be 1 or 2 on the rear deck itself. But overall, it's looking pretty good, and it's nice to have the tub at least all in one color. So now that that's all done, I can get to work on repairing seat pans and cleaning steering racks and steering columns and all that kind of stuff. There won't be any lack of work over the winter. As I'm filming this, it's October 7th, 2021, and we've been blessed with a great fall, so I've been able to get at least get this paint on the car. So now that the primer's on the car, I can get to work on some cleaning up. Now I have cleaned up my part stand here. Some of the things I'm going to clean up are, the drive shaft, steering column, steering rack. I'll start to work on those over the next little while. The first off is I'm going to get to work on the handbrake assembly. Well, here's the handbrake all taken apart and cleaned up. So I'll get that all put back together shortly, and I can probably get that put back in the car as well. Before I do put it all together, though, I'll give the bracket here a coat of black paint, but I'll have to wait for a nice warm day to do that. But other than that, it's cleaned up quite nicely, and looking forward to getting that all back in the car. Well, that wraps up this week's episode in the Econobox garage. Thanks for joining me. I'm very happy to have gotten the primer on before the weather got cold, but I think that's it for this season as far as painting on the body of the car. If you'd like to get a hold of me directly, the best way to do so would be through Instagram, and I'll put my tag up in the corner here, and there's also a link in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please share it with your friends, hit that like button and the subscribe button, and if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that little bell icon so you'll get notified when the next videos are available. Also, I appreciate your questions and suggestions in the comments section. My name is Ian, this is the Econobox Garage. We'll see you next time.